Hey folks, making one more video here tonight. It's Ben Yessel. So I got kind of cut off on the last video. Sorry about that. Someone called. So it's one of the things about making a YouTube video on your phone right now. So, which is my main way of making videos until I find a video player that I like for my Mac. Anyway, so if you have any ideas, let me know. What else is some other things there's a lot of things going on right now. I'm trying, this is going to be kind of a varied video. A lot of different stuff I'm going to talk about. I'm trying a game called Divinity. I'm sorry, I already finished Divinity originally. I'm trying a game called Wizardry. And I got 6, 7, and 8. I got 3 video games. It was made back in like 2000, early 2000s. So 3 games for less than $4, which is a steal. So they're older, but they still play well. I mean, the funny thing is the mechanics of the game. They're a lot like actually, if you guys know about Wheel of Time video games, it feels like a Wheel of Time video game. It's just that instead of one person that you're controlling, you're actually having all 6 in a certain formation. It's just that it's from a first person kind of thing only, so you can't really you can kind of control where everybody's at, kind of, but again, it's a formation specific thing, but you can't have one person way away from the rest of the group kind of thing. So there's some pros and cons there. They were trying to figure out, how do I do a party system but still have first person, kind of thing. And of course, later on, a lot of folks got into the adjustable camera thing. So you could zoom out or zoom in to first person and all that good stuff. So I know a lot of programmers and game companies have toyed with that in the past. More in the 2000 to 2010 ballpark, perhaps. Nowadays, kind of fine-tuning some things, but I still think there's a lot of things that can be a bit better. I understand, too, what this turn-based thing is about. Turn-based combat, by the way, in video games. Oh my gosh. It's great. It is great, but it takes away from a lot of the adrenaline factor. If you have a pause option, that's the way to go. So real time with your pause option on your spacebar. That's the best way to go. People should realize that when Baldur's Gate came out, this was what made it so intense. Some guy whacks, just takes away more than half your health. Whoa, pause the game, right? Before he takes another whack, right? Move that guy, back to the party, heal him, all that stuff, right? But if it's turn-based, it's like, it's like, okay, here we go. And by the way, on that note, playing these games, the Wizardry 6, 7, and 8 games, right? There's 2 different options. One is it's turn-based, which is kind of slower, but there's another option where you can kind of keep going through all the moves, so the turns go automatically. It's a little quicker, and I personally like that second way better because you don't want to have a battle take a half hour. That's ridiculous. Might as well play Dungeons & Dragons the board game, or the old-fashioned Dungeons & Dragons, right? Might as well. By the way, if I do Dungeons & Dragons, get more to that, the board game, pen and paper board Dungeons & Dragons, I want to make sure that we have a minimum number of battle encounters, because that would just zap the time away like nothing else. It'd be ridiculous. Anyway, so in my last video, I talked a lot about how there's a lot of things that are proposed as being healthy, but maybe aren't really that healthy. And I mentioned, a lot of supplements for bodybuilding. I don't think are very. I'm realizing more and more that they're not really. They're not really things that will extend your life. They're not really things that are going to improve your life when you're old. They're just going to make your muscles bigger, which is great. And muscle is important, but it's become excessive. It's become a very excessive thing. and all these companies are making stuff, and all the folks that are really, really huge and big, and they're not going to like this at all, what I'm saying here. But, it's just, gosh, I mean, like, it's true. If you overeat all the time, it's probably going to shorten your life somewhat. Now, if you eat really healthy food, maybe it might even out to how long you're probably going to live anyway, as long as you're not smoking or drinking or a lot of stuff. We're talking more about the quality of life when you get old. It's how great your senses, it's just how well your body's going to function. I think we all want to be very alert and able-bodied when we get older. I would think that would be the case before we die. I would think that would be the case. I don't want to live 20 years in, a hospital or old folks home. My mind is gone. I don't want that to happen to me. I'm going to eat my blueberries, for crying out loud. So, anyway, I mentioned this video is going to be kind of a few different subjects. So I think for now, that's some of the main stuff that's on my mind, I think. But I'm just sometimes feeling a bit of a time crunch. I mentioned, maybe this was missed in the last video, but I don't like driving all over the place. If I can avoid it, if I change things. This is one of the things about Vegetable Police and other folks I've watched that is very appealing. So just, not having a car and just walking around or taking the train is actually very appealing in a way to me. Like, you can save tons of money and simplify your life and everything. That'd be so great. And I hate paying taxes, all that stuff. Anyway, leave me thoughts and comments below. Catch you guys later. Thanks. Bye.